ઓકે, સરસ. હવે ચાલુ કરીશું. સોંગ પતી ગયું હોય તો to information security concepts and security attacks. Okay, in last session already we have gone through some attacks. Okay, what were the attacks like? Ethicals are there, then some ransom threats and all, phishing, whale phishing. Okay, so we have seen number of threats, number of attacks been done by many different number of attackers. Okay, as the number of attackers are blowing and booming presently, in the same manner, types of attacks are also increasing. The number of ways they are attacking over the host is changing. Presently, we have many different number of attacks apart than what we have seen. Okay, so the thing is, as number of as number of attacks are increasing, number of attackers are increasing, we need to have such a system that can secure our system as well as and will secure our informations every time. Okay, so let us go with the today's session, that is e-commerce. Means most probably uh, the attacks which are being concerned or which are been done, or the attackers from where they start initiating their career into attacking, or attacks starts attacking or doing any vulnerabilities or malicious work, they start from the e-commerce websites, because they are very 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 unsecure in many different number of ways. If we peep into e-commerce sites, okay, which are not no they are which are not having a secure network, not having secure programs, not having security algorithms, not having security certificates from third party or verified party, the e-commerce, such kind of e-commerce sites becomes very vulnerable for customers or a client to upload their secure information to unsecured hand. Okay, so whenever we develop an e-commerce site, we need to keep in mind the three main agent of security, that is CIA. Okay, that is confidentiality, in integrity, availability, authenticity, and encryption. Okay, so presently we have a CIA. We have an authenticity, that this fellow is authenticated by a specific validation. Once once they pass from a validation, we mean that the fellow who is passing through this validation is an authorized fellow and can be accessed as well. Can access many different number of all the services. We can say all the services of the uh, site, or which is been hosted. The next is very important, that is encryption. Okay, the method that we encrypt our the data from passing from host 1 to host B, that is host A to host B, is very important. We have different number of algorithms, like we have RSA, we have DES, we have AES. Okay, then we have Kerberos, we have different secure channels, we have cryptographic crypto analysis, and many different number of algorithms by which and hash function MD5. Yes, okay, SSL certification can be also obtained for encryption. So we have many different number of algorithms to encrypt our data. Okay, so this encryption is always very important. At what level? If we use AES, okay, AES, we know, or we have studied that it makes a 16 round. Okay, we can also increase 16 to 32 round. Okay, we can also increase number of rounds as we wish. Okay, but as much as the number of round happens, the encryption becomes more complex, and the decryption becomes more again, it becomes more complex. Okay, so encryption decryption will become more complex. Okay, hash function, MD5, all has their own benefits, and all algorithms have their own cons. So the thing is, we need to know what type of encryption algorithm will be best for our e-commerce site. Okay, if our site is not having, or it is a very we can say valuable, and is a very customized. Okay, the encryption can be done in such a way that it propagates all kind of fundamentals to the clients. Okay. Then again, whenever we start developing e-commerce sites, we need to take the SSL certificate, secure socket layer certificate. We can also configure in such a way that secured SHTTP it supports. Almost all browser and all the developers, and whenever they develop, they keep in mind that SHTTP should be configured and should be placed on the browser. It should must reflect the ideas of HTTP. Okay, because it is the most important thing we can have. Okay, on the basis of what? On the basis of HTTP and SSL certificate, we can have a very secured. We can identify that this SSL certificate is authenticated or not. That means on the basis of this, we can identify the site is e-commerce website is the e-commerce website is really secure or not. Okay, many it may happen that many e-commerce sites they purchase a license or a certificate for a short period of time to show client, but it is not so. Okay, after some time it may happen after 6 months or a year they start become vulnerable to all the clients. Okay, and starts spoofing some unwanted or unrealistic data to different number of users and or the attackers. Okay, so uh, this is what the e-commerce. Okay, we all are aware that e-commerce is presently booming. E-commerce attacks and attacks which are being done, taking the information from the e-commerce site is very important. Okay, so before we send our information to third party, we need to identify that computer forensic uh, it should be there. Now, what is computer forensic? Let us go with the this idea of computer forensic. The computer forensic is the process of using scientific knowledge for collecting, analyzing, presenting evidence to the court. The forensic deals primarily with the recovery and analysis of latent evidence. Okay. So latent evidence. The latent evidence can take many forms, from fingerprint left on a window to DNA evidence recovered from the bloodstream to the file on the hard drive. Forensic Computer forensic is the discipline that combines elements of law and computer science to collect and analyze data from computer science, networks, wireless communication, and storage device. So this is an central idea of what is the computer forensic. Let us understand very clearly, and we will also learn why computer forensic is very important. As we have seen, that e-commerce security is very important. Okay, so e-commerce, and after some time, in many cases, e-commerce websites start stealing your data, because whenever you open a site on your browser, it develops a robot script on your system whenever you open that site. Okay, that site starts spoofing your data and and keep available to other side of your system. So this is your computer system unknowingly means is not known to you and starts sending the data. So your computer should be, that is your system should be very secure, and you should be aware about what the system is having and what it is doing. Okay, so first what it does, you should know about the forensics of the computers. So computer forensic is first that if it is very helpful whenever if anything goes wrong, your computer forensics or the computer system will speak a lot about the system that happened over the your account as well. Okay, so it doesn't limits to the physical evidence. Okay, to blame someone, it, it no doubt it is really going to speak about the fingerprint if someone steals your hardware. Definitely, it is going to still speak if someone happens over your hard drive, your system, or someone touches your system. It also helps when a attack has been done from external threats. So you need to analyze your system, and after analyzing the data which are being collected by other party, you should be aware by looking your systems. Okay, it also gives your information about your storage. It gives information about your networks, wireless communication as well. Okay, you may have a question that how it happens. Okay, how it happens, how it happens, because there are many ways to specify your the system and the the activity which is been done on your system. Like logs are there, registry logs are there, then your system logs are there, then wireless logs are there, network logs are there, your system log is there, security syslog is also available for system logs who are being logged. Okay, from where it is been logged, uh, from what IP address it used to log in, which port number. Okay, so these all are the series by which you can identify that someone has tampered your data or tried to tamper your system. Okay, so why it is important? Let us go with why the computer forensic. Because computer forensic is important because it will help you to ensure that the overall integrity and survivability of your network infrastructure. You can help your organization if you consider computer forensic as a new basic element in what is known as bench in depth. To understand the legal and technical aspects of computer forensic will help you capture a vital information if your network is compromised, and will help you prosecute the case if the intruder is caught. Okay, so here it clearly says that what happens over your system if intruder is there, or the security agency, if they caught an intruder, you be able to have a proof evidence that someone has this, only this fellow has done blah blah using such kind of system or systematic way he has still my information. Many presently we are facing such kind of the issue which is there into our surroundings as well. We have a different cyber law court. So, but the court is and the court decision is based on the evidence. Uh, okay, so the computer forensic will give you the information of each and every activity that happened over the network and happened over the system. Okay, whether it is been compromised, which is not been compromised, if it is been compromised, up to what level it is been compromised with the other intruder. Okay, so this is what it gives you information about the thing. And one is defense in depth. Okay, so there are two basic types to collect in collect the data are collected in computer forensics: the persistent data and the volatile data. Now, persistent data is the data that is stored on a local hard drive and is preserved when the system is turned off. Okay, what it shows, it says that persistent data is the data that is stored on a local hard drive. It means that is a storage device. It contains the data which are being used very frequently, and whenever you require such kind of data, it becomes available to you, and it is there once your system is turned off. Okay, so once the system is you turned off your system, whenever you boot the next time, the data will be available. That is, you can also say it is from the permanent storage. And next is volatile data, and that is the volatile data is any data that is stored in memory or exists in transit that will be lost when a computer loses power or is turned off. Okay, what here the poet says? The poet says that whenever you turn off your system or your system loses power, okay, power failure occurs, at the time your data will be flushed out from the memory. So you won't have the same data from your system. Okay, so it is very important for uh, computer forensics agents to recover such kind of data once it has been lost. Okay, so like memories, say ROMs are there. Okay, then flash memory is there. Then you can say it is a buffered data, cookied data. Everywhere this will, you know, this will, such kind of vulnerabilities may happen, that the data are been removed due to volatile data, and whenever you boot it becomes clear. So without looting, whenever if something happens, you do not need to reboot your system. Okay, that is a general idea that the system is not working properly. What shall we do? Okay, we bluntly what we do, we reboot our system. Null in use in recovering these data. Okay, so what is this? The volatile data. Okay, into next say next lecture or the next slide also we'll go with some ideas to recover as well. But the volatile data, see, we know that, or an ordinary fellow, or an unknown fellow, they think that the data, volatile data, are been flushed out. Okay, but those who are expert in investigation, they have a specialized tool, a specialized ability to recover the flushed out data. Okay, જે બી volatile data છે, okay, so એ બધા જ volatile data ને recover બી કરી શકાય, but using some specified tools and specified technique only. Okay, because this volatile data is empirical and it is essential as investigator knows reliable way to capture it. Okay, what type of computer forensic attacks can be done? Like forgery, breach of computer security, fraud and theft, copyright violation, identity theft, and threats. What is forgery? What is for and other are burglaries, homicides, the administrative investigation, cyber terrorism, sales and investment fraud, electronic fund transfer fraud. Okay, and others are also, but these are the usually that happen that we see in usual way. And most popular type, forgery means someone is sitting in man in the middle and steals the data and forwards the illegal data or unrelevant data to the host B. Breach of a computer security. Someone tries to penetrate our system. Someone tries to penetrate our system. So someone is helping or someone is using my system without my knowledge. Okay, like MSTSC is there. Okay, one command is there, MSTSC, that is used to connect my remote system. Okay, my system is working over here. Okay, and it is on particularly. Now I know the IP address of my system. So even I can have my I can have my system even though at my home. I can operate my system from my home and I can have my all my data's valuable data. Okay, so that is what the breach of computer security is. In the same way, if some person knows my IP address, can be able to trace the system. Then fraud and theft. Fraud and theft means fraud and theft means someone is doing fraud to me. Okay, by giving my own data. Okay, by giving my own data, I be able to I be able to when someone does my fraud means he gives my own valuable data to me. Okay, he steals my data and what it does and removes my data from my system and calls me for recovering money. If I give money, my valuable data will be given back to me. Okay, ये क्यों होता है? That is, and next is copyright. Copyright violation. Okay, again, if I am a scientist or I am having and uh, a very and valuable data and some fellow starts penetrating my data and and from my system it steals the data. Okay, some fellow has stolen my data and what it does, it changes the name and and start using my documents and my ideas and my research work on his name. Okay, but actual work is being done by myself for my own research work. But the same research work someone starts using without my knowledge. Okay, so that is what the copyright is. So my research work is a copyright value for me, but somebody starts stealing with this, start stealing and start using for their own purpose. So which is not proper in any way. Identity theft. Okay, presently there are many different number of websites which are being identified in in such a way that it says the actual site is mine. Okay, before 5 to 6 years before, there was a very big identity theft scam of ICICI. Someone has developed a same website, similar website like ICICI Bank. Okay, and started hosting with the similar name like www.icici-bank.com. Okay, so dash or underscore. So what happens? Nobody have an idea of such kind of fraud. And whenever they start searching on a Google, the very first or second number will, and someone clicks on WIC, ICICI Bank. Okay, and the fraud happens. Can have the login. Once the login has been done, that is a fraud login. Okay, someone starts username, gives a password. The password will be available to the next fellow. Okay, the attacker's database, and start stealing the data as well. So this such kind of identity theft becomes very vulnerable for many people at the same time. So there could be a are thousands of fellows they are using a bank side similar, so they can be and becomes the victim of identity theft. Next is threat. There are many different number of threats like batch file is very common. Okay, once you drop a batch file onto any system, they start becomes vulnerable. Okay, so it is next level to you know to make someone you know harassed very easily. Burglaries, homicide, administrative investigation, cyber terrorism. Burglary is someone you know steals your whole system. Okay, even though you can have your data, but once the system is available. Okay, homicides are the same that someone makes your system vulnerable by keeping or changing the registry ideas or the registry files. Administrative investigation. Okay, investigators investigations can be happens. Cyber terrorism. Okay, by unknowingly you become the victim of such cyber terrorism by uploading or by downloading some software, downloading your any valuable application on your system. Automatically such some applications are being installed on your computer system. So what happens in such case? And once the software or the application that you install on your desktop along with that vulnerabilities starts working and doing abruptly on a network and giving information to or it broadcasts the system and helps other systems to become infected by network network virus, we can say. And different and many other systems will become vulnerable with respect to such kind of electronic fund transfer. Once, as we say, saw in identity theft, once the username and password has been there, we'll be able to the attacker can make electronic transfer, and many thousands and lakhs of rupees can be transferred to other banks. Okay, sales and investment frauds are the same. The data can be spilled out. Okay, that is what the primary methods that been done using e-commerce site. Okay, e-commerce security environments, the scope of a problem. Okay, this will see in next session on Wednesday. Okay.